Welcome to Sophia Animations, the home of inspiring, soul-touching stories that reflect real life, godly values, and powerful lessons. We want to say a big thank you to all our amazing viewers around the world. Your love, your support, your shares and comments, they all mean so much to us. You're the reason this channel is growing stronger every day. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with someone. Your support helps us reach more lives with stories that matter. As you watch today's episode, we pray that God will bless you abundantly, guide your steps, and protect you from every secret enemy. May you always rise above envy and betrayal.
Dad. Can I talk to you? Daniel? It's late. What is it? I've been holding a lot in, Dad. And I can't anymore. What are you talking about, son? Ever since you married Auntie Grace, things have changed. You've changed. You're not the same dad I used to run to after school. Daniel. This again? Please let me speak. Just listen. For once. Go on. I feel like a stranger in my own home. She insults me. She hides my food. She blames me for things I didn't do. And when I try to tell you, you shout at me. You never even ask if it's true. Grace is your mother now. You should respect her. I try. I try every day. But respect shouldn't mean I suffer in silence. She's not kind to me, Dad. And you've started treating me like I'm a burden. Like you're ashamed of me. That's not true. Then why do you always take her side? Why do you only call me when something is wrong? Do you even remember the last time you asked me how I'm doing? I didn't know it was that bad. It is. And I miss my father. I miss the man who used to smile at me, who called me his little lad. Now, I feel like a visitor here. A mistake. Daniel, I've failed you. I was trying to keep peace in the home, but I didn't see I was losing you in the process. I don't need a perfect home, Dad. I just need my father to see me. To fight for me. I see you now, son. And I'm so sorry. I promise you, from this moment on, things will change. I'll protect you. I'll listen. And I'll talk to Grace. No more silence. Thank you, Dad. That's all I ever wanted, to be heard.
That was quite a touching father-son moment, wasn't it?
Grace. I didn't know you were listening.
Oh, I wasn't meant to hear it? Interesting. So now we have secret meetings in this house?
It wasn't a secret, Grace. He needed to talk. And I needed to listen. For once.
And of course, he painted me as the monster. Typical. Always the victim, that boy.
Grace, please don't twist this.
Twist? No, let's talk about twisting. He twisted your heart so easily with a few crocodile tears and a sad story. And now you're ready to make me the villain in my own home?
Twist? No, let's talk about twisting. He twisted your heart so easily with a few crocodile tears and a sad story. And now you're ready to make me the villain in my own home.
Targeted? Because I expect him to have manners? Because I told him to clean up after himself? That's maltreatment now?
It's more than that. You constantly scold him, accuse him, withhold food. You make life hard for him, and I've been pretending not to notice.
Withhold food? Really, Johnson? So that's the lie now? What else did he say I did, lock him in the basement?
He's hurting. I can't ignore that anymore.
You know what I find amazing? How quickly you forgot everything I've done for you. For this home. I cleaned up your life after his mother died. I held you when you cried. I helped you heal. And now you're tearing me down to please a sulking boy.
No one is tearing you down. I just want peace. Real peace. Not this silence full of tension. Not this house where a child walks on eggshells because the woman he's forced to call mom despises him.
So I'm the enemy now. After everything? After sacrificing my own peace to take in another woman's child?
Grace, it's not about competition. He's not a threat.
Isn't he? He's slowly turning you against me. You don't see it? That boy doesn't want me here. From the beginning, he made me feel unwanted in my own marriage. You think it's easy living with someone who rolls his eyes every time I speak?
He's a child. A hurting one. He lost his mother, Grace. Did you ever try to understand that?
And what about what I lost? My own identity. I can't discipline him without you rushing to his defense. I can't run this house like a real woman because you let him act like the man of the house.
No. You don't get to say that. You're not trying to run a home, you're trying to control it.
So what now? You're going to let him sit at the center of everything while I become a stranger in my own marriage?
What I'm going to do is protect my son, the same way I promised to protect this home. I love you, Grace. But I won't let love blind me to injustice, not anymore.
Noble words, husband. Very noble. But don't be surprised when that boy grows up to hate you too. You feed his ego now, and one day, he'll blame you for everything. Just like he's blaming me.
Or maybe he'll remember that his father finally stood up for him. Before it was too late.
You've made your choice. Just don't expect this house to run the same way again. You must be feeling like a little hero now, aren't you?
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, don't play innocent with me. You went running to your daddy, crying your eyes out, painting me as the wicked stepmother. How clever.
I didn't paint anything. I just told him the truth.
Truth? Truth? You think you've got the monopoly on truth in this house? You spoiled, ungrateful little brat. Do you know how lucky you are that I even tolerate you?
You don't tolerate me. You punish me for simply existing.
Watch your mouth. Just because your father gave you a moment of sympathy doesn't mean you can stand here and disrespect me.
I'm not disrespecting you. I'm defending myself, for once.
Defending yourself? You're nothing but a manipulative little boy trying to destroy my marriage. I see right through you. You want to be the center of everything. Just like your mother made you.
Leave my mother out of this.
Why? Does the truth hurt? She babied you into thinking the world revolves around you. And now that she's gone, you think your tears will bring back her attention, through your father.
You've never liked me. Not from the first day you moved in.
And you never tried to like me either. I gave you a chance to accept me. But no, you've been stubborn, bitter, always giving me looks, sulking, slamming doors. So don't act like a saint.
I was a grieving boy. You walked in, acting like the new queen. You never tried to understand me, you only wanted obedience.
Oh, you were so dramatic. Grieving boy. You had everything. Clothes, food, shelter. I didn't beat you. I didn't starve you. But no, that's not enough. You want a red carpet. You want affection and worship.
I wanted kindness. And respect. Not fake smiles in front of Dad, and venom when he's not around.
You better be careful, Daniel. You may think your father believes you, but trust me, he loves his peace more than he loves confrontation. And you? You are the disruption. Not me.
If he really wants peace, he'll see who's truly causing the storm.
And you think he'll pick you over me? You, with your mood swings and your passive-aggressive silence? I'm the one who's been by his side, his comfort, his wife.
And I'm his son. And deep down, he knows something's wrong. He saw it in my eyes today.
Keep pushing, and you'll see what real consequences look like. I can make this house unbearable for you in ways you can't imagine, and all without lifting a finger.
Then do it. But every time you do, I'll speak louder. Every time you lie, I'll tell more truth. The days of silence are over, Grace.
You just declared war, boy. And I always win.
No, Grace. You've just been hiding behind my father's blindness. But he's finally opening his eyes. And when he sees clearly, you'll lose the one person keeping you in this house.
Thank you both for agreeing to sit down. This talk is long overdue. We can't keep living like strangers under the same roof.
I only came because you asked me to.
Same here. But I'm not going to sit here and be falsely accused again.
This isn't about accusing anyone. It's about understanding each other. Danielle, Grace, we're a family, whether we feel like one or not. We need to speak honestly, but respectfully. Danielle, why don't you go first?
Okay. I'll speak. I don't hate you, Grace. I just feel like you've hated me from the beginning. You barely speak to me unless you're correcting me. You look at me like I'm a burden. I'm not trying to ruin your marriage, I'm just trying to exist without being attacked.
Attacked? I feed you, clean after you, make sure there's a roof over your head. And I get no thanks, no respect, just cold shoulders and complaints.
Because that's all you ever wanted, obedience and silence. Not connection.
Please. One at a time. Grace, you've been holding in a lot. I understand you didn't expect motherhood to come like this. But Daniel is still a child, and he's been hurting too.
You don't know what it feels like, Johnson. I came into this home trying to do right, and no matter what I did, I was not his mother. I tried being nice. I tried being firm. But it's like nothing was good enough.
Because it always felt fake. Like you were putting on a show for Dad, but once he left the room, everything changed.
Grace. Is that true? Grace?
I didn't realize I was doing that. I felt judged, so I reacted. I saw him as a rival for your attention. I'm sorry if that came off as cruel.
I never wanted to compete with you. I just wanted someone to treat me like I mattered. I lost my mom. I wasn't ready to lose my dad too.
I didn't know how to fill that space. I guess I stopped trying and started defending myself instead.
All I ever wanted was for us to be a real family. Not perfect. Just honest. We've all made mistakes. But today, we get a chance to move forward.
I can try. But only if things really change. I can't live in fear anymore.
And I'll try too. I'm not promising to be perfect, Daniel. But I'll start by listening. No more pretending everything's fine when it isn't.
That's all I ever asked for. A home where love speaks louder than pride.
Thank you. Both of you.
Ah, Grace. The Queen herself. Please come in, sit. You always make this office look too plain. I should put your picture up on the wall. Sophia, you're still as dramatic as ever. But it's good to see you. Honestly, I needed this break. Being home these days feels like walking on eggshells. Still the same trouble with the boy. It's improving, I think. Johnson called a meeting. He wanted us to talk as a family. I didn't expect much, but it was civil. Daniel spoke his mind. I apologized. We're trying. Grace, I've known you for over 7 years. Trying doesn't suit you. What happened to the woman who never let anyone walk over her? It's not about pride anymore. It's about peace. Johnson has been distant. I thought maybe making peace with Daniel would help heal the home. Peace? You don't make peace with a child who's already plotted against you. That boy went to his father behind your back, didn't he? Yes, but he was hurting. And I admit, I wasn't very welcoming when I first entered their lives. I came in with walls up. I was insecure, Sophia. I won't lie. Listen to me, Grace. Insecurity is one thing. But bending to the will of a teenager who resents your very existence? That's not humility, that's suicide. You give him power today, and tomorrow he'll throw you out of your own home. It's not like that. Johnson won't let that happen. He's just trying to balance things. He loves us both. Men say they love, but what they really crave is peace. And if giving that boy control makes Johnson's life quieter, you'll be surprised how quickly you become the outsider. Especially when children start to play the sympathy card. They know how to win a father's heart with tears and silence. I just don't want to keep fighting. It's exhausting. Grace. You are the wife. You are the woman of that house. You came in and helped that man rebuild his life after he was broken. You carried burdens that weren't even yours. And now a child, who isn't even your blood, wants to question your authority? Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. When you allow the seed of rebellion to grow in a house, it never stops at one branch. Today it's disrespect. Tomorrow, it's eviction. He will eventually turn Johnson completely against you, and by the time you see it, you'll be packing your things with tears in your eyes. I tried to be gentle. I really did. But maybe it was weakness. It was. But now you know better. Put your emotions aside. If Daniel wants war, give it to him. Quietly, strategically, but without mercy. That boy needs to learn the cost of pride before he grows into a man who destroys homes. You're right. I've allowed too much. He'll learn that silence does not mean defeat. I'll remind him who truly runs that house. Now that's the Grace I know.
Bro, you sure she's not around? I don't want trouble. Oh. The last time I came here, your stepmother's eyes nearly roasted me alive.
Relax, George. Honestly, things are different now. We had a family meeting. My dad called for it. Everyone aired their mind. It was rough, but I thought we found common ground.
You sure? Because that woman, I don't know. Her smile alone can send someone packing. She acts like you're some stranger squatting in your father's house.
I know, man. I won't lie, living here hasn't been easy. But you know what? I've decided to stop fighting bitterness with bitterness. I'm just focusing on my life, my future. And Dad, he's been more attentive lately.
That's good to hear. You deserve peace, bro. You've been through a lot.
Thanks. And I want you to feel comfortable here again. This is still my home. My mother would have wanted me to have friends around, not to live like a prisoner.
All right. I'll try. But if she comes back and starts raising her voice, I'll vanish like wind. You won't even see dust behind me.
Deal. But relax. She won't even notice we're out here.
Ah. So this is what I suspected. This is what you're now doing behind my back?
Good evening, Ma. Welcome.
Good evening, Ma.
Don't greet me with your pretentious mouth. So this is it, Daniel? Bringing friends into my husband's house when I'm not around? Sitting outside like you were planning a revolution?
What? We're just talking, Grace. George is my friend. He only just came to greet me. George, please don't leave.
And what are you people discussing in secret, Anne? Planning how to disgrace me further? Or maybe how to sneak things out of this house while no one is looking?
Ma, I didn't. I would never.
You, shut up. Do I know your background? Do I know what kind of home you come from? The last time you came here, I saw the way you were looking around, inspecting the house like you were measuring the windows.
That's enough. George has done nothing wrong. You can't just accuse people like this.
Ah. So you now have voice. You talk back now, Daniel? Because your father spoke soft words the other day, you now have power to challenge me?
I'm not challenging you. I'm defending the truth. You've walked into a peaceful moment and turned it into chaos, for no reason.
Peaceful? In my house? With strangers sneaking in when I'm not home? That's how theft begins. That's how immoral things begin. Maybe you brought him here to hide and do all kinds of things under my roof.
Oh, my goodness. God forbid, Ma. Me? Hide for what? I'm a Christian. I came here to greet my friend, that's all.
And who gave you permission to step foot here again? Did you inform me? Did I invite you? You think this is a public school compound?
He doesn't need your permission to visit me. This is still my father's house. And last I checked, he hasn't banned my friends from seeing me.
Ah. You've finally shown your color. I see. You've been emboldened. But let me warn you, this your boldness will destroy you. And you, pointing at George, you better get out now before I call the security guard to escort you with a cane.
Bro. I'm sorry. I have to go. This is serious. I don't want to bring more trouble.
George, don't go like this.
Let him go. Next time, tell your little criminal friends to stay far from this house. If anything goes missing tonight, I'll hold you responsible, Daniel. I'll make sure your father hears every word.
I didn't come here for this. Truly, I didn't.
You just pushed away one of the few people in my life who truly care about me.
Good. Let them all run. Maybe then you'll learn loyalty. And maybe then your father will stop being blinded by your innocent face and see the manipulator that you are.
You can only lie for so long, Grace. The truth always finds its way. And when it does, I won't have to defend myself. It will speak for me.
Until the day comes. This is still my house. And I'll make sure every inch of it reminds you of who holds the power.
This wasn't what I expected. We had a family meeting. We spoke our hearts. She said she understood. She even apologized. I thought maybe, just maybe, things would get better. But today proved otherwise. She came back worse. Louder, harsher, like nothing was ever said. What changed between then and now? Is it the small age gap between us that makes her uncomfortable? Does she feel like I'm competing with her? Like I don't belong in my own father's house? Or maybe someone's whispering in her ear. A friend? Someone reminding her to hold on to power at all costs? Or maybe It's just who she is. Some people don't know how to live in peace. They only feel strong when others feel small. I really wanted this to work. For Dad's sake. But how do you make peace with someone who thrives in conflict? Sighs again, quietly. No matter what, I'll stay calm. The truth always finds a way to speak, louder than any accusation.
Johnson, my brother, it's really good to ride with you today. I've been wanting to check in for a while now. How are things at home? You know, I heard there were some rough moments between your son Daniel and your wife.
Ah, Lawson. You're a true friend. I appreciate your concern. Yes, there were some issues. The tension was becoming noticeable, even the air in the house felt different. Daniel wasn't talking much, and Grace became unusually defensive. But thankfully, we sat down, all three of us. I let everyone speak freely, without judgment. And you know, sometimes all it takes is for people to be heard. Grace opened up. Daniel did too. They both admitted where they went wrong. I believe it was more of a communication gap than real hatred. Since then, things have been more peaceful.
I'm relieved to hear that. Conflict in a home is never easy, especially when it's between people who should be building love and unity. But if I may be honest, Grace is still young. She's barely older than Daniel, right? That can cause its own type of conflict that isn't about words, but about position and maturity. Sometimes, the tension is silent. A young wife might not know how to carry authority gently, and a young man may find it hard to respect someone he sees more as a peer than a mother figure.
You're not wrong, Lawson. That's something I've tried not to focus on too much, but it's true. Grace is closer to Daniel in age than she is to me. At first, I thought love would cover it all. And in many ways, she's been supportive. But I see now that certain emotional reactions are rooted in immaturity. Daniel, on the other hand, doesn't express himself quickly. He buries things. And when the explosion finally comes, it feels sudden, though it's been building for weeks. I've learned not to take silence as peace anymore.
That's wisdom, Johnson. Peace isn't just the absence of noise. It's the presence of understanding. And it must be maintained intentionally. You've done well to step in and mediate. But I'll advise this: stay involved. Be sensitive. Continue to talk to both of them, separately even. Sometimes, people pretend for your sake, just to please you. But the cracks are still there beneath the surface. If ignored, they widen.
Yes, I've realized that. The home needs my attention, not just provision. I used to think once they said sorry and hugged, the work was done. But it isn't. Grace may still have hidden fears or insecurities. And Daniel may still be hurting, even if he respects me too much to say it directly. I don't want a house where people just tolerate each other. I want one where there's true peace. Where my son doesn't live in fear. And where my wife doesn't feel threatened or defensive.
That's the right goal. Don't let your love for one blind you to the pain of the other. You are the bridge, Johnson. If you collapse, the house will divide. Just keep leading with fairness. Keep praying. And keep watching. That's what a wise father does.
Amen, Lawson. Amen. Thank you for speaking plainly to me. I won't take your words lightly. I just want to do right by my family, before things spiral again.
So after everything, after the marriage, after I left my own family to build this home, I still have to fight for space in my husband's house? Sophia was right. Totally right. A woman who doesn't guard her place will watch someone else occupy it, and it won't be another woman this time, but a grown son. Daniel is not a boy anymore. He's old enough to start his own life, his own family. Somewhere else. This house is my home now. I am the wife here, not a tenant, not a caretaker. Why should I tiptoe around my own living room because of a boy with a frown? It's time he leaves. That's what Sophia said, and the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. I didn't marry into chaos. I came for peace, for companionship, for happiness. I want to enjoy my husband, not manage his grown son. This is not the life I imagined. It's time I speak my mind. I'm done pretending. Daniel has to go. He must go.
Grace. Is everything all right? I heard your voice from the hallway. You sound troubled.
Oh, so you heard me. Good. Maybe it's time you really listen, Johnson. Because I'm tired. Tired of pretending that everything is fine in this house when clearly it's not.
Grace. Please calm down. Talk to me. What exactly is wrong?
Daniel. That's what's wrong. Still living here like a permanent shadow between you and me. Still walking around like he owns the place. Still watching me with silent judgment like I'm some stranger who forced herself into his father's life. I've tried to be patient. I've tried to be respectful. But I'm not blind, Johnson. I see the way you always defend him. You make excuses for him. And I'm supposed to just accept it?
Grace, I understand how you feel. But please, hear me out. Daniel is not staying here to offend you. He's still here because he has not yet found his footing. Life hasn't exactly handed him ease. He lost his mother, remember? At a young age. And while he's grown, emotionally he still struggles in ways he rarely speaks about. I know he's quiet, too quiet sometimes. But he's not disrespectful. He's my son, Grace. And just like you are my wife, he is still part of this family. I can't just throw him out into the street.
Into the street? Is that what you think I'm saying? He's a man, Johnson. A man who can work, rent a place, and start his own life. Or are you waiting until he's 40 before you tell him to move? You treat him like a child, and me like the outsider. I didn't come here to raise your son or compete with him. I came to be your wife, not his stepmother forever.
Grace. Listen. I never asked you to raise him. And I never chose you over him, or him over you. I chose both of you because I believed we could be a family. Daniel has plans, but life hasn't opened those doors yet. He's trying, applying for work, saving little by little. He's not just sitting idle. I would never tolerate laziness from him. But where I come from, family doesn't throw out family when things get tough. You hold them. You support them. You guide them until they can stand. That's how I was raised. That's what I believe.
And what about me, Johnson? Who holds me when I feel overwhelmed? Who supports me when I feel like I have no space to breathe? I feel invisible sometimes. Like I'm just here to fill a gap, not live freely. I want peace. I want a home where I'm not constantly adjusting for someone else. Is that too much to ask?
No, Grace. It's not too much to ask. You deserve peace. You deserve love and space and understanding. And I want to give you all that, truly. But I ask for just a little more patience. Daniel is not trying to push you out. He's just finding his way. And I believe very soon he will. All I ask is, don't let outside voices make you fight against what we're building.
So, you were saying Sophia is wrong?
I'm saying no one outside this home should define how we run this home. Not even Sophia. Let us build our peace from inside. You and me, with wisdom, with love. For each other. And for Daniel, too.
You know, Sophia, life is something. Just yesterday we were all single, chasing small jobs, and now look, Grace is married. I saw her picture on Instagram last week. She looks radiant. The woman is glowing like someone drinking from the fountain of happiness.
Glowing? Kioma, I beg, let's be serious. Don't let social media deceive you. That one is not enjoying anything. If you know what I know, you won't use the word glowing. Grace is just good at packaging nonsense to look like luxury. All that smile in her photos. Fake. Behind closed doors, she's struggling to even breathe in that house she calls home.
Sophia, why so strong? I didn't know there was anything going on. She looks happy now. Married to a wealthy man, living in a nice house, she doesn't even talk to many people again. Are you saying things aren't what they seem?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Kioma, don't be naive. She married a man old enough to be her father. That alone is already a prison sentence. And to make matters worse, his grown son still lives with them, causing tension daily. She pretends to be queen of the house, but in reality, she's just a guest walking on eggshells. I warned her. I told her this path would bring frustration. But she wanted to wear wedding rings and post breakfast in bed pictures online. Now she's living in silence and stress.
But how do you know all this? I mean, Grace doesn't talk to you anymore, and from what I see, she hardly even replies to messages. Did she confide in you?
Grace may not speak, but her actions speak volumes. Do you think I don't know her? We grew up together. I know when she's forcing a smile and when she's genuinely happy. And before she ghosted me, she complained to me about how uncomfortable she feels in her house, how her husband treats the son like a saint and she has to tiptoe to avoid being seen as the wicked stepmother. So don't let the happy wife branding fool you. She is not better than us. In fact, I pity her. I, Sophia, may not be married, but I have peace. No old man hovering over me. No stepson judging me. I sleep in peace. That's what I call enjoyment.
It's possible you have a point. I've always felt Grace cut people off too quickly after her wedding. Maybe she was trying to hide something. But still, every marriage has its own challenges, Sophia. She might just be adjusting.
Adjusting to what? Chains. Bondage? Look, Kioma, let me tell you something. Don't let these girls fool you into thinking marriage is the goal, no matter how it comes. Grace rushed into that marriage because she was desperate to prove she was desirable. But I know her. She's not strong enough to handle that kind of house. And trust me, that man she married, he listens more to his son than his wife. It's only a matter of time before she gets thrown out, or runs out herself. And when that happens, don't be surprised if she tries to come crawling back to us with tears and stories. You see, that's why I stay smart. I don't chase rings. I chase peace. And peace doesn't live in a man's wallet.
You make some heavy points, Sophia. Honestly, I've been feeling a bit left behind, seeing all these wedding photos and couple goals on social media. I've even been doubting myself lately. But hearing you talk like this, I'm beginning to question what's really behind all the glitter. Maybe you're right. Maybe Grace isn't living the dream after all. Maybe we're the lucky ones.
Exactly, my sister. We're the ones with freedom. And believe me, that's something no expensive ring can buy. Let them post their filtered lives online. One day, the truth will come out.
George. I promise, I've never felt that kind of shame before. Not even in my darkest moments. The way she came at us this afternoon. Accusing us like criminals in front of neighbors. This is the same woman who just smiled yesterday like everything was fine. And now, just because I sat outside with you, she cooked up stories that left my father speechless. It's exhausting, bro. Living like a stranger in my own father's house.
I saw it, Daniel. Every bit of it. And to be honest, I've never felt more embarrassed on someone else's behalf. You didn't deserve that at all. But what hurts me most is how powerless you looked. You didn't even argue. You just stood there, quiet, like someone waiting for judgment. And that's not you. That's not the Daniel I know.
Because I am tired, George. I'm tired of fighting battles I didn't start. I've tried to respect her. I stayed out of her way. I never insulted her. But it's like my presence offends her. And now, it's like the air I breathe in this house is borrowed. My father once said he wanted to sell his car to set me up, open something small for me to stand on my own. But I told him no. Not because I don't want help, but because I know the risk. That car is his only major asset. If the business fails, we all suffer. I didn't want that burden hanging on me. But now, I'm beginning to feel like maybe I made the wrong choice. Maybe I should have let him help me. Maybe that way, I wouldn't still be here, getting disgraced in front of my own friend.
Daniel, listen to me. What happened today was unfair, yes. But it doesn't define who you are or where you're going. Grace can throw words, but words don't determine your destiny. You did what you thought was best when you told your dad not to sell his car. That wasn't weakness, that was wisdom. You were thinking like a man, not a boy. That kind of thinking is rare. So don't regret it. As for now, I think it's time you start making plans to leave, even if it's gradual. It doesn't have to be something grand. Maybe start with something small, online hustle, small-scale business, even if it means relocating to stay with someone for a while. You need to be in an environment that allows you to grow, Daniel, not one that crushes your spirit. You've done your best to stay respectful. But peace has to be mutual. If it's not, then sometimes walking away is not weakness. It's survival.
I hear you, George. I do. And you're right, staying here is no longer helping me. It's like I'm living with a ticking time bomb. I can't plan my day without wondering what new offense I'll be accused of. But where do I go? I've applied for countless jobs. I've even tried my hands on little things, freelancing, writing, buying and selling. Nothing has worked out yet. And you know I don't have anyone outside this place who can host me long term. I'm not scared to struggle, George. I just don't want to fail. Not again. Not after all this pain.
Then don't see it as failure. See it as progress in disguise. Even if it's tough at the beginning, you'll eventually stand. Let's do this. I'll speak to my cousin in town. He runs a small electronics business. It's not fancy, but he needs someone he can trust. I'll tell him about you. Even if the pay is small, you'll have something to hold on to, something to build on. You don't have to stay here and wait for another disgrace. You deserve to breathe, to rise, to become. And I'll stand with you until you do.
Thank you, George. I mean it. You've been more than a friend. Sometimes I wonder how I would have survived these past months without you.
We're brothers, Daniel, not by blood, but by bond. And no disgrace can change that. Let this pain push you forward, not backward.
Dad, can I talk to you for a moment?
Of course, Daniel. Come in. Sit down. What's on your mind?
I've been thinking a lot lately. Especially after what happened earlier today. And I believe it's time I made a move. I know we talked before about you wanting to sell your car and set me up, and I refused. Not because I didn't appreciate it, Dad. But because I didn't want to gamble the one valuable thing you have just to get a start I wasn't even sure would work. I didn't want to disappoint you. I still don't. But after today, after the way I was disgraced, I realize now that staying here any longer might cause more damage than good, for all of us. I've reached my limit, Dad. And I think I need to start building something of my own, no matter how small or uncertain it seems.
Daniel. Son, I've been watching you closely. I see the weight you've been carrying, and I know it hasn't been easy. When I married Grace, I never imagined things would get to this point. I hoped, with time, peace would settle between both of you. I saw how patient you tried to be. I saw how you ignored so much just to keep the peace. And yes, I remember the conversation about the car. You were being thoughtful. You wanted to protect the little we had. That showed me how much you've matured. But I also see that living here has started to slowly break your spirit. And that pains me deeply as a father. So if you say now is the time to go, I won't stop you. I'll support you in every way I can. Just know. This house is always your home, no matter what. No one can erase that.
Thank you, Dad. That means a lot to me, more than you know. This house. This place. It carries memories, both good and painful. I never wanted to walk away feeling like I lost, or like I was driven out. But I also know that if I stay longer, the constant friction will only deepen the cracks, between me and Grace, and maybe even between me and you. I've spoken to George. He's reaching out to someone who might give me a small job in town. It's not much, but it's a start. I just want to be able to look back someday and say, I stood up and made something out of nothing. Not just for me, but to also make you proud.
Daniel, you've already made me proud. Every time you chose silence over argument, every time you endured what most young men wouldn't tolerate, you proved you are not just a man, but a man of character. I know the road ahead might not be easy. Starting afresh never is. But I have no doubt that you will rise. Because what's in you cannot be destroyed by temporary hardship. And I promise you this, if you need anything, I'll be right here. I won't let pride or misunderstanding stop me from being your father. That is a promise I intend to keep.
I'm grateful, Dad. You've tried your best to manage both sides, to balance your marriage and your responsibility as a father. I know that hasn't been easy, and I respect you even more for it. I'm not leaving with bitterness in my heart. I'm leaving with a sense of purpose. And when I return one day, I want it to be with good news, not complaints. Please don't feel like you failed me. If anything, you taught me how to endure, how to think before I act, and how to move with integrity even when the odds are stacked against me. That's a gift I'll always carry.
Then go, my son. Go and write your own story. And remember, the door you walk out of today is the same one you can walk back through whenever you need to.
I am tired of pretending in this house. That boy is a thorn in my flesh. Always around, walking like the prince of the compound, breathing my air, sitting on my chair, eating like he owns the place. I married into this home to have peace. To enjoy my husband, not to raise a grown man who looks at me like I don't belong here. What kind of marriage is this? Where a man chooses silence instead of taking charge. I've tried. I've swallowed my pride over and over, but Daniel is testing me. If I don't do something now, he'll keep thinking this house is his forever. I've tried. I've swallowed my pride over and over, but Daniel is testing me. If I don't do something now, he'll keep thinking this house is his forever. Today, if he enters this house while I'm here, I will finish what I started. I will tell him plainly, this house is for me and my husband. Not him. He's a man, let him go and be one. Let him suffer small. Maybe then he'll understand that not everything in life is served to you. Let him dare enter. I am ready.
Good evening, Ma. I didn't mean to disturb your peace. I just came in to pick the rest of my things.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving, Ma. I've thought about everything. The tension, the misunderstandings. I believe it's time I gave you and my father your space. I'm a man now. I should be standing on my own feet. I came to say I'm sorry, not for anything specific you think I've done, but for the fact that my presence has been uncomfortable for you. It was never my intention to come between a man and his wife.
So, you finally decided to do what you should have done long ago.
Maybe I should have, maybe not. But timing is everything. I needed to be sure I wasn't walking away in anger or bitterness. I leave with peace in my heart. I won't say I understand everything that's happened between us, but I do wish things had been different. I also wish my father were home to see me off. But I'll leave him a message. I know he'll understand.
Well, at least you finally got sense. This is my husband's house. I didn't come here to babysit any grown child. You're doing the right thing.
I hope this house brings you peace now. That's all I ever wanted, for everyone to live in harmony. Goodbye, Ma. And thank you. For everything, good and bad. It made me stronger.
Yes.
So you're back. Well, I hope you're satisfied with yourself, Mr. Johnson. I hope you feel like a fulfilled man now that your precious Daniel has finally left the house. Because I, for one, feel like a huge weight has been lifted off this home. Finally, I can breathe. You allowed that boy to rule this house like it was his birthright. You watched him disrespect me time and again, and you chose silence. You stood there, week after week, acting like peacekeeper when what I needed was a man who would stand up and protect his wife. You call yourself the head of this home, but a head that cannot make bold decisions is nothing but a decoration. I had to fight this battle myself, to protect what is mine. And now, thank God, I can finally start enjoying my marriage. No more walking on eggshells. No more fake greetings. This house is finally mine.
Grace. I hear you. But let me ask you something. What exactly do you think you've won? You speak of peace like it's a prize you snatched through war. But what kind of peace drives a son out of his father's house? What kind of joy comes from celebrating the vision? You say I'm weak, maybe in your eyes, I am. But I chose silence not because I lacked strength. I chose silence because I was trying to hold together a home that was already cracking from the inside. Daniel is my son. My firstborn. My blood. He grew up under this roof before you ever walked into it. He had every right to be here. But you never accepted him, not once. And instead of finding a way to build something with him, you made yourself the victim. Yes, he's gone now. But let me make one thing clear, he didn't leave because you won. He left because he didn't want to fight anymore. That boy walked out with more dignity than many grown men I know. He left to protect his own peace. And as for me, I'm not proud of how this turned out. I tried to balance my role as a husband and as a father. Maybe I failed at both. But don't mistake my patience for foolishness.
I see you, Grace. I see the seed of strife you've sown in this home. And I can only hope you know how to reap it.
So now you're blaming me? After all the things I endured under this roof. All the silent treatments, the disrespect, the tension? Are you really going to sit there and paint me as the villain?
I'm not painting anything, Grace. I'm describing what is. You chose how to respond to Daniel. You chose bitterness instead of dialogue. Division instead of unity. This marriage was never supposed to be a battlefield. And believe me, I wanted to protect you, I still do. But not at the cost of losing my own child. So go ahead, enjoy your peace. But know this, the foundation of this home has been shaken. Not by Daniel, but by the storm we refuse to calm together.
Mr. Johnson, I've looked at your latest results, and I won't sugarcoat this. Your blood pressure is dangerously high. Your liver function shows early signs of stress. And your glucose levels? They're fluctuating far more than they should. This isn't just about occasional stress anymore. Your body is giving you clear warnings, sir. If we don't intervene aggressively, with proper medication and lifestyle adjustments, things could spiral out of control. I've seen men in far better shape decline fast when they ignore signs like these.
I understand, doctor. I hear everything you're saying. But, to be honest with you, it's not just my body that's under pressure. Life itself is squeezing me from every corner. Family issues. Responsibilities. Disappointments. I try to carry it all like a man, but sometimes it feels like my strength is running ahead of me. And as for the medications, I priced them last week. They're not small. Not with what I earn. Things are tight, too tight. I've been stretching the ones I have, taking them less frequently just to make them last. But clearly, it's not working.
Mr. Johnson, I understand your pride. I know you're a man who doesn't like to ask for help or appear weak. But let me tell you something from one man to another, this is not weakness, this is survival. Your son, your wife, your family. They may not say it, but they need you. You are the backbone of that home. If you fall, everything else could crumble. We can look into generic alternatives for the medication. They're not perfect, but they're better than nothing. I can also write a letter that might help you get partial support from a government pharmacy program. It's not a guarantee, but it's a start.
Thank you, doctor. I never imagined I'd be here like this. Not being able to afford the very thing keeping me alive. But I'll take your advice. Whatever help you can give, I'll accept it. I have to stay alive. If not for myself, then for what's left of the future I still have in that house.
That's the right mindset, sir. We'll fight this together. But you have to meet me halfway. Take the meds consistently, reduce the stress where you can, eat right, rest. Your life is not over, but it is at risk. Don't ignore the warning signs again.
I won't, doctor. I promise I won't.
Sophie. You won't believe what happened this week. You remember how Daniel kept parading around the house like it was built in his name? Well, not anymore. That boy finally packed his things and left, just like that. He came in like a gentleman, said some fake apology, and walked out with that pity look on his face. I didn't even have to raise my voice. My silence alone chased him out. The house has never felt this light, I tell you. For the first time in months, I sat in the sitting room and actually enjoyed a quiet evening. Wait, you were serious? He actually left. On his own. Wow. Grace, this is what I've been telling you all along. You can't let people take what belongs to you. That house is yours. You married the man, not the history that came with him. That boy, he overstayed his welcome. Good riddance. I'm so happy you stood your ground. Women like you need to stop tolerating nonsense just to keep a fake peace. You did the right thing. Exactly. I kept saying it, this boy has no boundaries. Imagine me waking up and finding him in the kitchen before me, acting like the madam. Every time he spoke to me, I saw his father's softness in him, that same weakness that made Johnson allow him stay in the first place. But now? The air is different. It's just me and my husband now. Finally, we can enjoy each other without his eyes watching every move. Grace, listen to me. Now that you've taken out the first obstacle, don't stop there. You've opened the door, keep walking through it. You see that man, your husband, he still has some residue of guilt inside him. That man still feels attached to his son emotionally, even if he won't say it out loud. You need to start drawing clear lines in that house. Make him choose. You are the past. Don't just settle for Daniel's exit. Start showing him that this marriage needs a reset. That he needs to stop carrying old responsibilities and focus on his wife, you. Tell him you want full access to decisions in that home. Finances, plans, property, everything. I won't lie to you, Sophie. Johnson wasn't exactly excited when I told him Daniel left. He gave me this long lecture about peace and family and how the boy is still his son. Said I shouldn't celebrate like it's a victory. But honestly, I don't care. If he can't see that I've made his home peaceful by removing that burden, then maybe I need to rethink a few things myself. Grace, don't let his words make you weak. That's what they do, men like him. They act like they want peace, but they want to keep everyone happy at your expense. You've done the hard part. Now, let the power shift. Speak up. Demand change. Remind him you're the woman in his life now. If he can't stand by you in this small matter, how can you trust him when the stakes are higher? You're not his servant. You're his wife. Start acting like one who owns the table, not just sits at it. You know what? You're right. I've been too careful. Too understanding. I need to start protecting what's mine before it slips away. Daniel is gone, now it's time to clean up what he left behind. Life is a journey of choices, and every decision we make is like a seed, it will surely bear fruit in time. Grace allowed envy and bitterness to blind her, opening her heart to the wrong voice, Sophia's voice, rooted in insecurity, jealousy, and manipulation. But what drives someone like Sophia to be so wicked? Could it be her own emptiness, masked by her desire to tear others down? And Grace, a woman who once came in with love, now stands at the center of a broken bond. The law of karma teaches us, what we sow, we will reap. And the harvest always comes. Sometimes when we least expect it. But what about Daniel, the one cast out of his own home? What about Mr. Johnson, whose health silently deteriorates while he fights to hold what's left of his family together? The storm is far from over. Stay with us, because in part 2, what's hidden will be exposed, and every mask will fall.
Watch out for part 2.